It's very good to see you, PQD. And of course, it's fantastic to say DTM Margaret Page.
And you can witness live coverage of the cake that we have arranged for the 20th anniversary. It just so happens to be at my home because I'm the VP Education. But don't worry, the pictures of its slices will be sent to all of you.
And it was nice to see you as well, immediate past district director.
I think, shall we start? Do we have all of the main role holders?
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. And it's time to. So, Sergeant at Arms, please do the honors.
Okay. Okay. Good evening, Toastmasters and guests. Being the Sergeant at Arms of Karachi Toastmaster Club, I welcome you all in the meeting number 878 of Karachi Toastmaster Club. Today is a historic day for all of us because today Karachi Toastmasters turns 20. We have completed the 2 decades of excellence and the eloquence. So without further delay, I would like to hand over the charge to pursue the historic meeting of the Karachi Toastmaster Club. So I would like to hand over the charge to our VP Education, Toastmaster Tala bin Hamid. Over to you, TTM.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ali Ashar Anjum. And before we start, let me just announce that our president, Toastmaster Urusa, cannot attend today due to a family situation. So we wish her all the best. And so unfortunately, or fortunately for me at least, I am the presiding officer for today. So fellow Toastmasters and guests, sincerely grateful that you could join us today. And today, Toastmasters is not only a household name around the world, but fortunately for Pakistan also, that is the case. And at this point, I'd love to pay tribute to our founder, our club's founder, DTM Salim, whose dream it was to actually, initially it was to be appended to a district. And then he idealized becoming a territorial council. And he passed away too soon before seeing his dream fulfilled. But it did not take more than 2 years after his passing away that we became a territorial council. And not only that, I believe now that every club has a spiritual compass. And DTM Salim provided us with an unmatchable spiritual compass. No matter who comes and goes in the executive committee, no matter who's at the helm of the club is more important than the individuals. And the club is always positive, always accommodating, and the club puts members first. So today, more than ever, I feel his presence. I know he would be jubilant up there. Not only his home country has become a territorial council, but his home club has become one of the best clubs in the world. Today, Toastmasters International is present in most countries around the world. And there are around 350,000 Toastmasters. And there are around 7 billion other people who are also Toastmasters. They just don't know it yet, because that is our mission. to spread the message of Toastmasters to each and every person. And with that said, I will now ask some of our esteemed guests to briefly introduce themselves before handing over the charge to DTM Sameer. So DTM Margaret Page, although I am in a mind to suspend the membership of anyone who doesn't know you, but just to fulfill the protocol, please introduce yourself.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day and the VP Education. My name is Margaret Page and I hail from Vancouver, British Columbia. And I'm sure you know I'm the President-elect of Toastmasters International. Honored and delighted to be here. I have to apologize. I'm working through some technical difficulties with lighting here, but I'm excited to join the rest of the meeting. Thank you so much for the invitation to be here today.
Thank you so much, DTM Margaret Page. We have also our District Finance Manager, Toastmaster Adnan Khokhar. Toastmaster Adnan, would you like to introduce yourself?
Sorry.
Okay.
Is it me?
Sorry, please go ahead and introduce yourself, sir.
Hello, fellow Toastmasters, most welcome guests. My name is Ayed Abdulrahman. I'm from Canada, Hamilton, Ontario. It's a big honor to be with you again. I've been at your club in 2012, and I had a wonderful time. I am a distinguished Toastmaster here in Canada and with Toastmasters International. And I had a brother and good friend, God bless his soul, Dr. Salim Ahmed. I don't know if you still remember him. So, my great pleasure to be with you again, but unfortunately I cannot be more than 15 minutes with you. I have another appointment. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, DTM, and it's an honor that you could join us, even for a brief period of time. It's truly an honor to have you. We have, we have our area director, Toastmaster Anas Mansoor. Toastmaster Anas, will you introduce yourself?
DTM Taha, my name is Anas Mansoor, and I'm the area director, as it is mentioned in my ID. I'm dual member of Islamabad and Rawalpindi Toastmasters Club, and I have been with Toastmasters since 2017. Over to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you so much for being here, Toastmaster Anas Mansoor. And we'll try once again. If Toastmaster Adnan Khokhar, if you can hear us, please introduce yourself. Okay, so we'll move on and we'll taking introduction from dignitaries as they join us. Because unfortunately, DTM Sameer, that is the deal I made with a few of the people who do plan to attend. But I'm sure that we haven't consumed the whole 10 minutes, so it's all good. So with that, I will now hand over the charge to our Toastmaster of the day, who is our immediate past district director, who is a DTM, but somehow no words and no introduction can really do justice to who he really is. But wait, we have our regional advisor, James, R.A. James. So nice of you to drop in. Would you like to do a little table topics and introduce yourself? Thank you so much for dropping in.
Hi, hello, Assalamualaikum. Yes, and thank you, Mr. PQD, for the surprise opportunity to speak. I was actually setting up my audio and when you called me, so I was verifying whether it's me who you called. But anyway, I am extremely delighted to be here joining the club where our immediate past district director, DTM Sameer, is here, and you as our program quality director in District 122, and the rest of, I think, the longest surviving Toastmasters Club in Pakistan as you celebrate the 20th year of your service to the members of the Pakistani Toastmasters community. I am I wish you not only 30 years or 40 years or 50 years, just like Toastmasters, I wish that you will reach the milestone of 90 plus years in the service. And as you continue to grow amidst the pandemic, remember that your club is here because of the services and dedication of the past leaders. So today, I would like to request all of you to also reflect on the great contributions of the leaders before us, their sacrifices and their immense contribution, thus allowing us to celebrate this great feat of 20th years celebration. Thank you, Mr. PQD. I believe you're the Vice President Education, and I hope that you will have a grand celebration tonight. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So grateful, R.A. James. And I'll just briefly go through the business portion of the meeting before handing over the charge. So last week, we had a two-day speakathon. We had 19 speakers. And on both days, there was a set of winners. But more importantly, we added 6 educational awards to the tally. And during last week, we not only became select distinguished, but also the 7th in the world in terms of educational certifications as of now. There was no new development from the XCOM or no new decision. Everything stands as it is. And if you allow me just a few moments, I will just like to broadcast live the cake cutting for KTC's anniversary. And Toastmaster Imran Rana, the legend, the hero, the backbone of the club, as usual, will be providing support by operating the camera for this ceremony. And of course, my kids, who have absolutely no idea what's happening, will get to eat the cake. So I hope that makes everyone happy. So Toastmaster Imran, please do the honors. I mean,
Happy birthday to KTC. Happy birthday to KTC. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to KTC. Normally, we wish KTC, we have to be thankful to KTC for giving us these opportunities on stage.
Thank you so much, everyone. And each and every one of you will receive a beautiful slice of this cake. Excuse me, a picture of a beautiful slice of this cake. With that, I hand over the charge now to our Toastmaster of the evening, DTM Samir Hamid Dodi. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, DTM Tala. As R.A. James said, you can build a great building on a weak foundation. Today, KTC is great because of the past presidents. And with your permission, I would like to just go over the names of the past presidents right now. The first was, of course, our founding president, Dr. Salim Ahmed, DTM. He passed away 2 years ago, but he's the one who really built up the club. He's the one who really got people together. And in the best and worst of times, he was always there. Then we had Toastmaster Yasin Saya, Toastmaster Romana Imam, Toastmaster Iqbal Bakshe, Toastmaster Abid Ali, myself, Toastmaster Syed Najam Rizwe, Toastmaster Haider Nake, Toastmaster Asad Rafi, who tragically also passed away a couple of years ago, Toastmaster Hassan Thibo, Toastmaster Mohammed Danib, Toastmaster Maria Pala, Toastmaster Shamsuddin Mehmed, Toastmaster Imran Rana, Toastmaster Tala, DTM Tala, forgive me, and now we have Toastmaster Rusa. So all I can say is that these are the people who built it up, and today we are in a very good position indeed. Now to the meeting. The meeting will consist of three parts as usual. The first will be the prepared session in which people will have prepared speeches. Then we'll be having the table topics, and then the evaluation, and finally a keynote speech from an honored guest, DTM Margaret Page. For the meeting, we have a number of helpers who will, of course, keep the meeting successful and keep it in the spirit of Toastmasters. The first is Toastmaster Saad Amin, the grammarian. Toastmaster Saad, can you please give your role?
Toastmasters and guests. As the grammarian, I'll be listening carefully to all the speeches and I'll be taking note of any of the good and incorrect usage of English language. And at the end, I will be presenting my report. Uh, Sorry, my video is off because of electricity, so I'll turn it on as soon as it comes back. Thank you.
Okay. The second role is that of the timer, and I told DTM Tala I wanted a Hitler for a timer today to be on time, and he said, I'll do it. So, so Toastmaster Tala, please go ahead.
Thank you so much. As a time, my role will be to time all the segments in the meeting. The most prominent segments are the prepared speeches, which happen to be today the longer projects. So I'll be using the Toastmasters app, and I'll be displaying the screen like this to everyone. For the table topics, the length is 1 to 2.5 minutes. For the evaluations, it's 2 to 3.5 minutes. And for various other segments, I will be, when the respective segment is over, I will make a minor interruption to just inform whoever the speaker is that the time is over, or it's time to wind up the segment, depending upon the case. In the end, at the end of the meeting, I'll be presenting my report. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster DTM Tala. For the R counter, we have TM Hiba. TM Hiba.
Fellow Toastmasters and guests, as the R counter, I would be making a note of all the filler words spoken by the speaker in the prepared session and the table topic session. And at the end of the session, I would be saying that who spoke how many filler words. Thank you.
For the word master, we had somebody else, but past President Najam Rizvi, Toastmaster Najam Rizvi immediately jumped in and took it over because the other gentleman couldn't make it. Please, Najam.
Okay, the word of the day is quintessential. The meaning of the word is representing the most perfect or typical example of a quality or class. It's an adjective, and a usage in a sentence would be, she is the quintessential Toastmaster, sincere, dedicated, and an enthusiastic leader. Over to you, Toastmaster Samir.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Najam. And for the listener, we have Toastmaster Ghulam Qadir.
Good evening, everyone. My role for today is listener. And what I will be doing is I'll be noting down those catchy phrases. And at the end of the session, I'll be asking all the participants as to who said these phrases. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you. And finally, to put us all in a good mood, we have the joke master, Toastmaster Latif.
Thank you, DTM Samir. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. This is for you. I heard about these four ladies. They were quintessential about their sons. The first lady said, "My son is a priest, and when he walks in the room, everyone calls him father." The second lady said, "My son is bishop, and when he walks in the room, everyone calls him Your Grace." The third lady said, "My son is a cardinal, and when he walks in the room, everyone says, Your Eminence." The fourth lady said, My son is 6'3", broad shoulders, handsome, dresses impeccably well, and when he enters the room, all the ladies says, "Oh my God." Over to you, sir.
Okay. Sorry, I think there's an echo, but hopefully that will just pass. Now we'll be jumping right into the prepared speeches. And for that, the first speech we have Toastmaster Rusa Musan, a very dynamic young lady. And we've been lucky enough to get 3 of our past presidents to be in a panel discussion. And for the evaluation, we have another wonderful and absolutely very experienced Toastmaster, Toastmaster Hena Ali. Toastmaster Hena, can you please give the objectives and the timing?
Good evening, everybody. Thank you, DTM Samir. The objectives of Toastmaster Arusa's meeting today are, the purpose of the speech, first of all, are for her to apply her skills as a public speaker and leadership to facilitate a panel discussion. During this project, she needs to spend time to plan the discussion and to plan the discussion, organize the panel discussion and invite 3 panelists. And she should be well organized, well moderated to complete this project, and consider how we need to consider how the member sets the tone, keeps the panelists on topic, fields questions from the attendees, and generally runs the panel discussion. This panel discussion should not be a report, rather on the content of a moderated panel discussion project. Over to you. Best of luck, Toastmaster Arusa.
Sorry, Toastmaster Russo. As you know, interruptions are a quintessential part of KTC meetings. So unfortunately, the Toastmasters app is not working correctly right now. So I'll be showing you this timer. And if you recall, we agreed upon a time of 30 minutes, although your projects allow for 20 to 40 minutes, if I'm correct. So I'll just keep showing you at intervals, and then you can move on according to that. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Talha. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Hina and DTM Samir. Good evening and a very warm welcome to my fellow Toastmasters and lovely guest. On this prestigious occasion, as we celebrate 20 years of Karachi Toastmasters Club, I feel immense pleasure today to be a part of this great journey. On behalf of KTC, I want to congratulate each and every one of you, the members, executive committee, guests. All of you have made this journey successful. As they say, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. I still remember it was last year, back in September 2019. I stepped into this huge hall at Beach Luxury. And I could remember seeing DTM Samir, he was talking to a group of people there. And DTM Talha now, he was back off with his laptop and on his feet, helping and supporting members along. And on the stage was this little beard guy with this little beard. And I remember the audience, they were laughing and they were enjoying the person who was on the stage. And that was fortunately DTM Zaid Kalia. We don't have, I think we don't have we don't have him over here today. But then all I remember is that I thought to myself, am I in the correct room? Because I mean, Toastmasters has got to be a very serious business. How come they're all enjoying and they're laughing? So I remember, I don't know if Toastmasters Hina, she remembers, but I do remember she was there and I asked her if I am in the correct room and this is Toastmasters. So yes, it was, and there was no looking back after that. I've excelled both personally and professionally since I've joined Toastmasters. And as part of today's panel discussion, our theme for today is the ingredients of a successful club. And for that, we have three amazing panelists with us. So let me introduce you by not taking much of your time. We have three quintessential people over here, which is first DTM Uneeb. DTM Uneeb has been president of KTC in 2013 to 14, and he has been a power industry executive with over 30 years of experience in various power plant technologies. And he's presently working as a plant manager for Hub Power Services for its operation and maintenance agreement with Hubco. Mashallah, he has three daughters who are all a part of Toastmasters. Then we have TM Najam Rizvi. He has been the part of KTC president during 2015 to 2016. And during the year, he brought out its newsletter Speak, which acquired and then acquired its own multimedia projector while improving the finances along. So he's currently working as head of project monitoring department at Park Brunei Investment Company. Lastly, we have TM Heather Naki. He is a tax and a corporate lawyer, having over 25 years of experience. He's been the past president of KTC during 2016 reign, and he's an advanced Toastmaster. He's a member of local Rotary Club and has various senior district level Rotary positions over his 17 years association with Rotary International. He's very keen to make formal bridge and license with Rotary clubs and Toastmaster Club in Karachi. So please join hands in welcoming great personalities which we have in our panel. I want to start initially, since our theme is ingredients of a successful club. I want to start initially with a question, with a very simple, but rather a very deep question, which is why KTC, why Toastmasters, and what is KTC's mission? Can we have DTM Uneeb takes on this? Thank you. DTM Uneeb, over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Urusa. Mission of KTC is to become the best in the world. That's what KTC's mission seems to be at the moment. How do you become best in the world? And you touched upon the ingredients of a successful club. Successful club is the one in which members who are coming to improve their leadership and communication skills, they find value, and they find value for their own life and in their profession. They enjoy, and at the same time and grow as a profession. So Karachi Toastmasters Club over the past 20 years has progressed and has gone strength to strength. With this current this technology coming in, I think this has been a great help. And you can only become successful and hope and aspire to be the world top club if your members consider that the time that they've spent is worth the investment that they have made. You come here more than 2 hours, you sit here, you don't want to come to any place where you don't, at the end of 2 hours, you think that it's just a waste. So members' experience is the heart, and the members that take away from the time that they spend, that's what KTC's mission is all about. People come here and they have grown from a simple novice speakers who are shaking and trembling and becoming a proficient speaker. So I think that helps in their careers and in their normal lives as well. And when they've been seeing, especially within this advent of this technology and people seeing themselves on the YouTube, it has so massive strength to pass on their message in whatever field that you are working on. So KTC executive team has been an instrumental force behind making the KTC in the world top club. So I think with these my comments, I hand the charge back to Toastmaster Urusa.
Thank you so much, DTM Munib. Can I have TM Najim Rizvi's opinion and take on this? And I would also request our panelists to keep their speech for probably 3 minutes or so we can have all the panelists equally giving their views and opinions. Over to you, Toastmaster Najim Rizvi. Toastmaster Najim Rizvi, do we have you?
Yes,
Can you just unmute yourself?
Problem with my mic. I think I can be heard now.
Yes, you can.
Am I audible? Okay.
Yes.
I would like to request you to please just repeat that question. That your
Yes, Toastmaster Najim Rizvi, I want your opinion also on what is KTC's mission and why should one join Toastmasters?
why?
Why Toastmasters and what is KTC's mission?
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, I joined KTC around 2012, and I was somewhat reluctant because I thought that, I mean, after going through business school, one really doesn't need any further training in public speaking. But to my surprise, I found that I lacked a lot of skills in public speaking. And what else I found was that I could see that how a lot of people who didn't go to a business school or who were not really very highly qualified in any profession, but they were very good speakers. And this was amazing to me. I mean, how could people come into this club and, you know, become such good public speakers? And over the years, I've seen so many success stories in the club. People who have, when they joined, they were hesitant speakers. They did not have that confidence. And over the years, when they dedicated themselves to the projects and the speaking membership, they became much better speakers. And not only just speakers, they developed their leadership skills and they showed their leadership skills. First example that I'd like to tell you about is Dr. Munib that we have here. He joined the club after I did. And initially, I found that he was somewhat hesitant in his when he came to the podium. But gradually he overcame that because it was dedication and commitment to the Toastmasters program. And not only was he successful at Karachi Toastmasters, he went on and introduced Toastmasters at his own organization, which is the Hub Power Services. So he not only found two, in fact, he's found two clubs, one at the plant and one at the head office. So that's one example. There were so many others. Another was Zaid Kalia, who's not here with us today. He joined around 2013 or 14. In fact, he came up with the idea of the newsletter. He went on and he found the ICAP club. He's a very successful public speaker. And then we have the example of Toastmaster Rashid Dastagir. He also has been able to found a new club at Century Paper. So these are real success stories that I've seen over the years, and all of it is due to their commitment to the Toastmasters program and what it has to offer. Over to you, Toastmaster Urusa.
You're mute. Toastmaster Rusa, please unmute yourself.
Yeah, I did. Sorry. So thank you, Toastmaster Najib, for sharing your journey, for sharing journey of other people who have joined Toastmasters and how they have come across and founded other clubs of Toastmasters. I think that's something that members who are new, who have just recently joined, something that they can look forward to, that the journey of Toastmasters continues forever. Thank you for that. I have a question for Toastmaster Heather Nucky, and I want to know that what does it take to be a successful club? Toastmaster Heather Nucky, do we have you?
Please unmute yourself, Heather. We can't hear you.
Okay, yes. Regarding the successful club, well, for successful club, it is the interaction of members and uh, the club who can provide the support, the supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in great self-confidence, personal growth, and learning how to think on your feet, and always prepare for the surprise question, how to anchor the way you are anchoring this thing, and speaking your heart out. And of course, for me, it was more of a psychoanalysis of myself as well. Yes, ma'am. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Heather Nucky. I have the same question for Toastmaster Najm Rizvi. Can you share, since you've been a past president of KTC, I want to know, what does it take to be a successful club? Please unmute yourself. We can't hear you. Toastmaster Najm Rizvi, we can't hear you. Please unmute yourself.
I'm sorry about that. The success of a club or any organization obviously depends on its leadership and membership. In this regard, Karachi Toastmasters has been very fortunate in that we've had so many leaders. Initially, Dr. Salim kept this club alive virtually single-handedly, with obviously some support from the senior members. But otherwise, the club at times, the existence of the club seemed threatened at times. But he never gave up. He continued with his commitment. He took so much personal efforts, put so much personal efforts with it. I'm sure his own business and life would have suffered for that, but he didn't give up. Over the years after that, we had other people who were really committed to this. And over the last 2 or 3 years, we've really had great success because we've had people who've been able to use the change in the environment. I mean, now we have so much social media in our lives, and they've been successfully used by this club. So that has contributed greatly to its success. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Najm Rizvi. So, as Toastmaster Heather also shared with us, that it's the environment and the interaction of members who make a club successful. Toastmaster Najm Rizvi, he shares with us about persistence, that all it takes for a club to be successful is being persistent. So let's now take Toastmaster Uneeb, DTM Uneeb's view on how does and what it takes to be a successful club. Over to you, DTM Muneeb. DTM Unib, do we have you with us?
Yes, sorry, I'm unmuted now. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, I think a successful club requires a commitment from the executive team. I think if you've been able to put together a strong and the right kind of people who are motivated to help others, and they thrive to see uh, other people grow, and that's a kind of a commitment of people in the executive team. I think it's you say that lead from the front. So people in the executive team, if they are committed and they are seen that how this whole program works, because people look at them, and any existing members, they look at them. If executive team is not up to the mark, if they are coming late to the meetings themselves, if the program is not well planned, so I think there could be number of ingredients, but one ingredient which outstands is the commitment of the executive team. Over to you, Toastmaster Rusa.
Thank you so much, DTM Munib. I think that's wonderful to say that yes, commitment is something that is necessary and a vital thing for any club to be successful. And I'm sure the audience over here agrees with us too. So I want to take on board TM Heather Naki, and I want to ask him that since he's been a part of Rotary Club also, so how important are these collaborations and alliances with other club for a club to be successful? How important is it to be in alliance with other clubs? Over
Actually,
to you.
yes, thank you. I've approached Toastmaster International as well as Rotary International. I wanted to see the document. I've asked them, I've raised the queries. Both have asked that to approach the nearest, the Toastmaster International replied to approach the nearest Rotary clubs and coordinate with them. And Rotary International, they've asked to approach the nearest Toastmaster in your vicinity and approach them, and try to have a joint meeting and visit the club and apprise them about Rotary clubs. And of course, vice versa, uh, the Toastmaster said to visit the Rotary clubs. Actually, Toastmasters are more disciplined, focused, and somewhat they mean business. Regarding Rotary, they have fellowships, service projects, fundraisers. There are many clubs who just meet, eat, and they don't do any service, or in a year, in 365 days a year, they do one project or something. They join projects. Some of the clubs, there are around 50 clubs in Karachi alone. So we have to educate, because I've been a Rotarian, I've been a Toastmaster. And personally speaking, Toastmasters has developed me, my character, my public speaking skills uh, to great extent. Regarding Rotary, it is more of a socializing for me. Uh, so I think there must be a marriage between Toastmasters Club and Rotary International, because they have formed, if you visit the Toastmaster International and of course this Rotary International websites, they have formulated a joint emblem of Toastmasters and Rotary. So it will be a great opportunity for both. I think Rotary will gain more out of Toastmasters than otherwise. Yes, over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Heather. And so we see that it does, and opening to new alliances with other clubs opens to further opportunities, which is something fantastic for either of both clubs. Toastmaster Dr. Uneeb, I have a question for you, and I want to know. So, I've seen a few clubs other than KTC, and I've seen that there is a difference between the level of energy and enthusiasm between clubs. So, can you share your expertise? That what does it take for a club to be rather more enthusiastic and energetic? Do we have you? Hello?
Yeah. I'm there now.
Okay.
Right. What does it take for a club to be more energetic? I would say it's a deliberate. It does not come by coincidence. It is a deliberate effort. You fail to plan, you plan to fail. So if you have given enough thought to a good energetic meeting, you can't be humorous overnight. You need to prepare to have that interesting themes. You need to make a lot of phone calls for members. You need to create value. You need to have an appreciation for members who achieve their credentials. You start appreciating them. So this constant cycle of members receiving their values, appreciation, and each member coming prepared into the meeting. And I'm sure that this energy comes through a good preparation. Toastmaster Rusa.
Thank you so much, DTM Munib. I think you've said it wonderfully that it all comes down to members itself on how they create the environment that they want to. Um, I want to know, DTM Heather, that can you probably share one or two stories of individuals whose lives have been changed because of KTC? Uh, do we have you with us, TM Heather?
Heather, I believe you're mute.
Sorry. Yes. First example is myself. It was in mid-20s when I asked one of my friends, because there was a advertisement. The KTC meeting used to be held in Awari Hotel. I used to see one was a Toastmasters who is present in this very meeting. I don't want to name him right now. If you want to name himself, I asked, well, I said, what is this Toastmaster? I want to visit there. He said, okay, I'm a Toastmaster since long. I said, how many women are there over there? He said, if you are joining a Toastmaster just for the sake of females, you will be utterly disappointed. I said, okay, I didn't join it. Then after 3 or 4 months, I went there. It was, I suppose, September or August, because being a tax consultant, we are very busy during August and September. During preparing of these tax returns, I asked the question. Then after 6 months, I visited in Awari hotel, and they asked me to speak. I couldn't speak for 30 seconds. And before that, I was very confident. Oh, look, I am a lawyer. I appear before the Chief Justice of Sindh High Court. I'll speak endlessly, and I couldn't speak for more than 30 seconds. I liked it, and I became a member, and I was very regular, and it was not for the love of Toastmasters. It was love for myself, because I love myself. I wanted to improve. and all the prepared speeches, it acted uh, as a psychoanalysis for me, because all the prepared speeches I made, it was about myself, about my life experiences. So I had to write it, jot down on a piece of paper, and just deliver the speeches. I do want to join, but the timings and couldn't uh, match with my professional timing. Otherwise, I love to rejoin. And another friend of mine, late Asad Rafi, the past president, he was also a avid member, and I became friends with him. And his confidence level also increased considerably. In fact, he attended Toastmasters club meeting in London as well. Though I also wanted to join, but it is in fact, I'm a member of Rotary Club and Toastmasters. Though I'm regular in Rotary clubs, but my take is, if given a choice with the right circumstances which can match my timings, my first priority would be Toastmasters, because not out of love for Toastmasters, out of love for myself. It is for a very selfish reason. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Heather. It's lovely to hear that out, that I joined Toastmasters not because of Toastmasters, but because I loved myself. I think there's a lot of depth inside of what you said. If we really see through the message that you've given. Thank you so much to you, Toastmaster Heather. Thank you so much, DTM Munib. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Najam Rizvi. It's been a pleasure having you all over here, sharing your wisdom, your knowledge, your expertise as past president of KTC. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. I would like to now move on to the audience, that if the audience over here, they have some questions for our panelists, please write it down on the chat box. And I would request DTM Talha to help me out, because since I'm through online through mobile, I wouldn't be able to see the chat. So if he could just help me out if there's a question.
Sure. We have 2 or 3 minutes, and if anyone has a question about the club's history or how to sustain a successful club, you are welcome to ask. No doubt there are many future leaders here in the audience. So, and you have a panel of unparalleled experience and talent. So anyone, please write in the chat box. Okay, I received a question privately, and I will put it to all the panelists. The times are tough, as we all know. And while we as Toastmasters are very familiar with the culture, at this point, to some at least, it may be uncomfortable pitching the idea of Toastmasters given the scenario. So what do we offer to them that is specifically related to the current scenario that we are in? Any of you can answer, any of the panelists.
Well, can I answer that? Okay. Actually, I've been a member, as I've said, quite a while, many years, in fact. And with the pandemic, I find it much easier to actually attend Toastmasters meetings. Before, I used to try attend 2 meetings every month. Sometimes I couldn't do that, but Zoom meetings have given me the opportunity to attend so many different meetings, a totally different experience. One couldn't have imagined this sort of experience without the online meetings. And they also give you time to prepare for your meetings much better, because you don't have that, don't use that time for going to the meeting and coming back home. You can attend it from the office, you can attend it from home. So much versatility and so much more opportunity to, actually the only thing that we miss is the interaction among the members. That's the only thing I think we miss. Otherwise, this is a great opportunity, I think, to expand Toastmasters in Pakistan and throughout the world. Over to you.
Thank you so much. We have another question, Toastmaster Rusa, and this comes from one of our esteemed members. What opportunities will it take to bring Toastmaster Heather and others back to Toastmasters or KTC? Please do elaborate, as this would make for the success of club and Toastmasters.
That's a wonderful question.
My will. It is all about will, time management. That's all, time management, and I'm very poor at that. I'm trying to, in fact, because even through this, in fact, when I was informed by DTM Samir Dodi, so I've taken out my best of my tuxedos, and I was all ready when he informed this is the Zoom meeting. He said, Zoom? I said, yes. So I said, okay. But I've been thinking for quite some while, and while communicating, I know my confidence level has shattered even on Zoom. So I'll be needing Toastmasters for myself, for very selfish reason. So hopefully I'll be joining in person. Over to you, sir.
I have one more question from Toastmaster Ghulam Qadir, and this is directed to Toastmaster DTM Munib. What is the mantra of becoming a successful Toastmaster?
Mantra of becoming a successful Toastmaster. I think it's a belief that this program will deliver, and I think this, you just have to get in touch. You just need to see a success, a person who has been transformed because of that. And then once you have belief in that the program works, then it's your commitment and devotion. So I think that's the mantra, that what I believe. First, believe in yourself, and then have a full commitment, no half-hearted commitment. Toastmaster Rusa.
Thank you so much, DTM Munib. Toastmaster Tala, are we taking more questions? DTM Tala, are we taking more questions? I guess he's...
Yes.
Okay.
I don't have any more questions with me. So we can continue. You can conclude the session.
Okay. Thank you so much to all the panelists, to all the audience over here. You have all been really wonderful. Thank you really for taking out time. And also, I would like to end on this conclusion that as it's 20 years for Karachi Toastmasters, it makes 1 year for me as a member of KTC, because I joined last year in September right now. So yeah, it's been a pleasure to be a part of KTC. And I wish all the best to Karachi Toastmasters, all its members and guests. Thank you so much. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
All right. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Arisa. Before we go off to the second speech, I suddenly saw somebody whom two people at least have mentioned, Toastmaster Zad Kalia. Zad, can you say a couple of words? People have been missing here.
So what is my table topic?
Your table topic is, how come you weren't here at the beginning of the meeting?
Sorry, I can't hear you.
I'm
I
just
have a
saying.
question.
Okay.
I have a question for Zed. Who is your best president in KTC's history?
So I can't hear you is the right answer in Zoom if you don't want to deliberate or disclose any answer. So I can't hear you, Toastmaster Imran. And I think all presidents are favorite, but as you have asked the question, you are the most dedicated president I have seen in last year. And today we have more energetic president in the form of Urusa because she is also handling area director role. And I would like to mention two more presidents, which I have seen in my, sorry, three presidents in my whole Toastmaster journey. One was who's also present here. He is very, the person who knows who have talent and which member need to be polished so that he can become a champion. So this is Toastmaster Najim Rizvi. When I joined KTC, he was a president at that time. And also Toastmaster Hassan Thebo is also a good president. And without mentioning our current PQD, I don't want to disbarred from this club. So I would like to mention that the most dedicated person as a president role is Salah bin Ahmed. So all five, which I have seen, done a good job. And I have seen KTC growing from few members to current stage. I have seen a meeting in which there were only 3 members and 5 guests. And we have a table topic session in that meeting, and we decided that we will have 2 rounds of table topics, but due to one of our member, she had to leave early, so we decided to have 1 table topic. So it's a journey, and I think commitment and dedication of all ExCom members and leading by the president. So it happens that we today reached to this level, and I would like to thank you all, those members who are missing me, and I feel proud in missing KTC meeting because you get more love and appreciation when you are missed from any meeting. And so I will be gone, and I will see you on 21st meeting, sorry, 21st anniversary of KTC. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much, DTMZ. And I also see somebody else from far away, DTM Farzana. Can you please join and just say a couple of words? Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Assalamu alaikum. I was only planning to be a fly on the wall and listen in. Thank you, DTM Samir, for spotting me. I want to congratulate KTC Karachi Toastmasters Club on their 20th anniversary. When I visited the country after a long time, don't ask me how many years, and don't guess. KTC was the first club where I visited. I found them online and I went there and I visited. And I said nothing about myself because I wanted to observe the meeting in an unrestricted part of the world. And the KTC is a phenomenal club. They have been a glow, as a lot of people have mentioned, Dr. Salim. I think the hard work of all the leaders in last 20 years when Pakistan was unrestricted has brought us to this point that you are a territorial council, and I wish you all the best of luck. I will not be here on the 40th anniversary, but hopefully you will have a 40th anniversary. And you will be the torchbearers for the success of Toastmasters International in Pakistan, making it a provisional district and then into many districts. All the best to all of you, each one of you. Back to you, DTM Samir.
Thank you very much, DTM Farzana. There are a few other people I'd like to call, but I think that the next speaker is waiting quite impatiently and eagerly. He is none other than Toastmaster Javed Bhatti. Javed Bhatti has won a number of contests in our club, and he also, brought honor to Pakistan by being a winner in the video contest this current year. So, excuse me, last year, but okay, announced this year. And he'll be giving a speech and he'll be evaluated by DTM Sharakh Shanawaz. DTM Sharakh Shanawaz, can you please go over his objectives?
Thank you, DTM Samir Dodi. I hope I am audible. Am I audible? Thank you. Toastmaster Javed Bhatti is going to be presenting his project from Presenting Mastery Level 5. The title of his speech is From Zero to Hero. The purpose of his speech is for the member to practice developing and presenting a longer speech. Timer, the time for his speech is 18 to 22 minutes. Javed Bhatti, the charge is all yours. Wish you all the best.
Am I audible and visible? Am I
Yes.
audible? Thank you, DTM Sharakh, and thank you, Toastmasters of the Day. Fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests. Tonight I'm going to tell you a story. This is a true story because it is a story about me, my journey as a Toastmaster. From a boy who was afraid to talk to any stranger, from a boy who was shy to talk and address any people, from a boy who used to forget anything he had prepared while giving an interview, a shy, nervous, impassive, inexpressive, reserved, reluctant, and restrained kind of a person. And I could go on and on and on with those adjectives. But the bottom line is, I did not have any idea what communication, public speaking, presentation, or persuasive skills are. The boy could not answer the questions of his class teacher, not because he did not know the answers. It was because of his shyness and his hesitant nature that if he was not able to raise his hand in the class, the boy did not find the courage and the strength to face off those bullies who used to bully him in the school and make fun of him. That boy didn't have the courage to defend himself and to stand up for his own rights. And above all, that boy liked a girl in his school. And that girl apparently also liked him. She used to come to him and ask him for some kind of a favor or help, as if she was waiting for those 3 magical words. But that shy boy, he did not find the courage to go up to her and to say those 3 magical words. I love you. I love you. As simple as that. That's the kind of a person I was. But you know what's worse than that? The worst part is that boy was not aware that he had these shortcomings. Vernon Howard once said, you cannot escape a prison if you do not know you are into one. For instance, I had a childhood friend. He always felt a slight pain into his stomach. He always felt that there is something wrong in his body. And until very recently, when he went to the doctor and the doctor asked him to get yourself tested. And when the reports came, he found out that he was missing a kidney in his body. And only one kidney was operational. And I always felt the same way, that I was missing something. I was missing that spark, that confidence, and that edge my other friends had while I did not have. That spark was missing in me. They say ignorance is a bliss, where in some cases it is a bliss. For instance, I ignore a lot of things about my wife because I know if I seek any sort of clarification or justification, the consequences can be dreadful. So I just ignore them. But ignorance is never a bliss, especially in the areas pertaining to your own well-being. It was all going smooth. It was all going smooth until that one day when I was faced with a very embarrassing situation. The situation which forced me to change the way I communicate. The situation which forced me to take the bull by its horns. The situation which forced me to face my own inner demons and to face my fears. Imagine, there is a scene where I was asked to go onto the stage and introduce myself in 3 minutes. It was my orientation class. Well, for some friends of mine, it was like a walk in the park, as if they just came out of their bed unprepared, and they went onto the stage and they delivered a perfect speech, and they talked their heart out, and everybody applauded. As simple as that. Well, I had other friends who had gift of gab. They were hardly stoppable. And when they went to the stage, they kept on talking and talking and talking until the host had to intervene and take the mic away from them. But when I went to the stage, when I went there, when I saw everybody's eyes focused on me, when I saw the eyeballs all on me, I ran completely blank. I could not utter a single word. I was shaking. I was shivering. And my heart was coming out of my chest. I was not able to speak. But luckily for me, there was a professor sitting in the crowd. And he asked everybody to cheer up for me. So everybody clapped. And this gesture helped me ease down a bit. And that's how I managed to finish my introduction. But that day was a turning point for me. That day, I decided that I will never face this situation again. I will never be in this sort of embarrassment again. So I came home and I looked it up on the internet. And I found out that I'm not alone in this fight. There are many people struggling in the same way I was struggling. There were many people who were going through the same thing I was going through. So upon further research, I found out that the Mental Institute of Research reports 73% of the population suffers from this phobia, which is called glossophobia. 73%. It's a high number. It is one of the most common phobias after death. Now that I knew that I have a disease, it is called glossophobia, so I started to search for a cure. And I found out that there is an international hospital in town where all the glossophobic patients go to get cured. And that hospital has a clinic in my own city. They meet on every Wednesday inside Karachi Beach Luxury Hotel. So one day, I decided to go there and observe their therapeutic practices. So I went in there and I observed and I noticed and I liked what I saw. I thought this therapy could work. And luckily, I met a very specialized doctor. Everybody was calling him DTM. I thought it is kind of a Dr. Toastmaster. Dr. Toastmaster Talha. Well, once you meet this guy, there is no getting away because he will make sure that every patient that walks in gets admitted right away, gets the treatment done. So there I was, admitted in Karachi Toastmasters Club, delivering my icebreaker speech in January 2019. And here I am today, right in front of all of you, delivering the longest speech of my life. And I'm not afraid. I'm not nervous. You know why? Because the therapy worked. In fact, in my case, it overworked. Because I was so bound and determined to beat those fears, I put in the work. I went on and I wanted to abolish this fear. And in my debut year at KTC, I won all the prepared speech contests. As all of you here, or most of the people here are Toastmasters yourself, you all know that we have 5 contests every year in our club. And out of those 5 contests, 3 contests are based on prepared speeches, namely humorous speech contest, tall tales contest, and international speech contest. I won humorous speech contest and a tall tale contest and the international speech contest. I was on fire. But you know what? I consider myself lucky. I consider myself lucky because we have so many better speakers in our club who could have done that. I consider myself lucky because I found another doctor who was a special kind, who was so willing and open and selfless that he made sure that I participate in those contests. When I felt that I was not ready for any contest, I am still new and I'm young to KTC, he said, no, Javed, you can do it. He not only helped me in preparing for these contests, he helped me in writing those speeches. He helped me in practicing those speeches. I used to call him in the middle of the night. I used to text him. I used to even go to his office and ask him to evaluate my speech. I used to practice in front of him. And at the end of the session, he would take me outside and he would offer me an egg sandwich. We call it Ande Wala burger. Then after that, he would offer me a strong tea. We call it Kadak Dudh Patti. And where can you get all these luxuries apart from Toastmasters? So do you know who that angel was? Well, that person was Toastmaster Imran Rana. He helped me overcome my personal goal of beating my fears of public speaking. And in this process, I was fortunate enough to acquire international accolades. When recently I was placed 3rd position at a video speech contest of Toastmasters International. And there is a very funny incident. Before the contest, I had high fever and my throat was very sore and my voice was sounding like a gorilla. And I thought I was not ready. And I know you guys must be thinking high fever, sore throat, voice like a gorilla. These are symptoms of corona, right? Well, this incident took place in a pre-corona world where everything was normal, where we had handshaking and hugging, where we had social bonding, not social distancing, where we had open smiley faces, not masked faces. So there was no chance of corona. So that's how in my high fever, drinking hot water and honey, I delivered my speech that won me the 3rd position at Toastmasters International Video Speech Contest. I wanted to pull out of that contest, but those heroes, they motivated me and pushed me, and they said, you can do it. Just like that professor who pushed me and motivated me to complete my introduction in my orientation class. In life, we have heroes and we have hero makers. Every champion that has ever achieved anything has done with the help of these hero makers. No one has achieved a tiny bit of success without someone's generosity, someone's help, somebody's footstep, someone's advice. No one does it alone. DTM Talha once told me that in Toastmasters, you can win without beating anybody else. We are all heroes here. There is no such thing as zero in Toastmaster. We all are winners. In Toastmaster, you can win by mentoring or coaching someone become the better version of themselves. You can be a hero by actively participating and supporting your clubs. You can be a winner by sponsoring a needy person who cannot afford a Toastmasters program. I think People who do such kind of things are the real heroes. In fact, they are superheroes because they don't win titles, awards, trophies. They win hearts. What would you choose? If given a choice, I would rather win hearts than win titles. I would rather earn respect than win trophies. And let me tell you, we have so many such heroes inside our club. I'm sure that all of the Toastmasters fraternity is filled with these kind of heroes. And tonight I told you about one such hero, Toastmaster Imran Rana, who called me a few days back and he said, Javed, I want you to sing a song for me. And I was surprised. I said, what? What a bad musical taste you have. Why do you want me to sing a song? And he said, well, because you have a strong voice and I think it would be nice if you can sing a song for me. So tonight, in order to fulfill our ex-president's request, I am going to ruin your hearing aids. So bear with me. I will try and sing tonight a Mariah Carey song. Mariah Carey, right? Another feather in my cap. I have done lots of stupid things on KTC stage. I have danced, I have punched, I have done push-ups, and I have even acted like Gabbar Singh. Ha ha ha. So why not sing as well? So tonight, this song is dedicated to all the Toastmasters. There's a hero. If you look inside your heart, you don't have to be afraid of what you are. There's an answer if you reach into your soul, and the sorrow that you know will melt away. And then the hero comes along with the strength to carry on, and you cast your fears aside, and you know you can survive. And when you feel like hope is gone, look inside you and be strong, and you'll finally see the truth, that a hero lies in you. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Javed Bhatti, for this wonderful speech. I would like to ask the timer that has everyone qualified? Both speakers have they qualified?
Yes, both speakers have qualified.
Then I would request you to please float a poll so the members can vote or the audience can vote. But in the meantime, I see a couple of, very dynamic ladies. One of them is Irim Rizwe, and I would like her to please come forth and say a word or two, briefly, please. Irim Rizwe, are you here, Toastmaster? There you go.
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you so much. And for me, it's always a fan moment whenever I have DTM Samir on stage. So I can't tell you what a big mentor he is for me. And I'm a huge fan. Thank you so much. And it is such a huge milestone for KTC to reach 20 years. It sounds nothing, but imagine a baby reaching to that age of maturity, making decisions and making an impact. And KTC has actually left a lot of mark. KTC has not only just done 20 years of its own, but KTC has played a huge part in bringing up new clubs in Pakistan. If I have to take top 3 clubs name, KTC is obviously one of them, because of which today we are standing at Territorial Council and inshallah district very soon. So I congratulate everyone, each and every president, each and every member, each and every ex-member, people who are no longer in our lives today, people who came as a guest, everyone has played a huge part. And congratulations, wishing to see 200 more. Thank you, DTM Samir.
Thank you very much, TM Iram. And now I would also like to call another Toastmaster Iram, Toastmaster Iram Khayas, who is the president of DAO, club. It's a university club, one of the fantastically energetic clubs. In fact, the most energetic club I've ever seen. So perhaps can you come forward and just say a word or two, Toastmaster Idam Qiyas?
Yes, sure. Assalamu alaikum. Dear fellow Toastmasters and wonderful guests, I really feel honored to be a part of such an amazing meeting. And I thoroughly enjoyed listening to all the speakers. And let me say that KTC really serves as an academy for all of us. All the senior Toastmasters are always here to help us through their inspiring stories. Being president of a newly formed club, I always need these energy boosters from our senior Toastmasters. Looking forward to be a part of such amazing meetings in future. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Iram. And now I'll call a third lady just to have to conduct the next session. She is Toastmaster Shamam. She's a gift from Islamabad because she came from Islamabad to Karachi. And she's a master's in sociology and one of the most interesting dynamic Toastmasters I've met with incredibly interesting speeches. Toastmaster Shamam, over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the evening. Am I audible and visible? Okay, thank you. Fellow Toastmasters, esteemed guests from International Front and from other clubs in Pakistan, 20th anniversary of Karachi Toastmasters Club. It is the oldest surviving club, yet in its prime youth. In this purview, I have decided to take up some table topic theme around the tips for keeping Karachi Toastmasters Club as healthy and running for many years to come. The experiences and insights from table topic speakers might be a useful learning. So heading towards the table topic session, we all know the format of it. As the Toastmasters, I can see not many guests here. Timer has already communicated the time limits, 1 minute and then 2.5 minutes. And with that, I'm heading towards my table topic sessions. And since it's about members first, so I would like Toastmaster Lateef to please switch on your video and say something so that we can see you and hear you.
Say something.
Oh, fine. We can see you and hear you very clearly. So, as a Toastmaster, tell us of in or outside of the meeting or club. Tell us of a funniest experience that you have ever had. The funniest experience that you have ever had as a Toastmaster, whether in a meeting or outside a meeting. Over to you, Toastmaster Lateef.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I take this stage once again to wish each and every one a very long, successful years. A funny incident which I would like to share is I started and I wanted to show myself that I'm a punctual person. I am never late. But trust me, until I joined Toastmaster, I was late every now and then. So I used to rush and speed up my car, my work, because if the time is at 8:15, so I decide to 8:10 what to wear, then iron, and then get ready. In order to do everything, I fell down from the stairs. Then I had to control my injuries so that I do not show to the guest I'm going to visit. Plus, I have to give a valid reason for what being late. And then I say there is a traffic around and I could not make it on time. You will not believe I got straight time just because they said which road you have come from. that road was free. And the reasons which I wanted to make, I could not. So a person came to me and pat on my shoulder and said, remember, you are late if you are on time. Just try to reach ahead of time so that you are well prepared of what you are there for. With this message, with this shortcomings of my life of Toastmaster, which make me an enthusiastic Toastmaster, I never fail to take a role. I stay on time. I might be the third or fourth person every time when the Toastmaster meeting starts, just because time is money and it's worth. As our guest also said, be selfish. I'm the most selfish person on earth also. Over to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Lateef. This tells us that no matter what, club meetings have to be on time. So, lesson number 1. Now, moving on to other next table topic speaker, we have a special request from Sayyida Maria Riaz. She is from Givels Club, not yet a Toastmaster. But since she is here and she has requested me to include her in the table topic session, I would like you, Maria Riaz, to switch on your video and tell us where you are. Can you speak something so that I can hear? You can. Okay, fine. So a little topic for you. How does it feel to be in Karachi Toastmaster Club's 20th anniversary? And what is the age of your club? Toastmaster Maria Riaz from Givels Club.
Okay, so I am 11 years old and it feels really nice to be here in KTC Club, and I am here second time. First time I come, but it was a speaker-thon, so I didn't attend it because I had another meeting with the Express Toastmasters Club. So I went to over there, even though today I have a meeting, but I didn't attend it. Because I want to attend this special meeting, which is anniversary, because I have never attended anniversary of any Toastmaster club. And I don't know about my club. It just started 2 or 3 months ago, and I won 2 times table topic and 2 times prepared speech. And I become really happy, and we have meeting every alternate Sundays, and that's it.
Thank you so much, Maria Riaz, for joining us. And as soon as you are able to become a Toastmaster, like age-wise, you have to join Karachi Toastmasters Club. Done? Okay. So moving on to our next table topic speaker, and this time I would like to call someone from the executive committee. DTM Zaid Kalia, are you around? Please switch on your camera. DTM Zaid Kalia, are you around? I think he's not. So can I ask Toastmaster Iram Rizvi, can you switch on your camera?
Yes, I'm here.
Thank you for being available for a small session. Well, I have this question about, we are all aware of the stature of Karachi Toastmaster Club, where it is standing. Tell us from your experience, is it a piece of cake, a sweet dream, or a nightmare to keep a club at this stature for many years to come? Over to you, Iram.
Wonderful, wonderful. I'm loving the way how you're doing this table topic session. It's not the general thing, but then of course you're trying to get the essence from each and every speaker. Brilliant question. It is not easy, but let me tell you, it always becomes a doable journey when you have a family with you, when you create your tribe. And that is the key essence of Toastmasters. You have to look for people who are like you, who are crazy like you, that they'll be having dinner and attending the Toastmasters meeting along, even on Zoom, that they might be having commitments, but they'll come down to see the speech of their mentee, and they would come for the love of Toastmasters, because there's always someone who made a difference in each and every Toastmaster, whoever has ever been one. And there's one person because of whom they come back. I know that I know one person that who made a difference in my very first club meeting. And if today I'm coming to KTC or to ETC or going to Jordan or Lebanon or District 105, that's because of that one person in my very first meeting who made a difference and made me a Toastmaster today. So KTC had a rough ride, but KTC has found its tribe. And I'm very proud that KTC is one of those clubs that I really tell other clubs to take inspiration from. Look out for people like yourself, make your tribe. When you have your family along, no journey is tough, and you're never in a hurry to reach to destination. Over to you, Table Topics Master.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Iram, for such lovely words. And I'm sure with people like you, KTC is going to run along for many years to come. Now, moving on to another table topic, and this time I am having Toastmaster Ali Asher. If you are around, is the member of Karachi. Okay, fine. Can I see you? Okay, fine. Yeah. Okay, fine. So the topic I have for you is, you know, there is a voting system for the best role in the meetings. Now, tell me of a time when you had delivered something and you were expecting to be the best and you didn't get enough votes. Tell us about the feelings. Over to you, Aliasher.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shamam. It's actually happened with me. And I think it happened with me several times, according to me. But whenever when I watch my speech again, then I realized that okay, that was not me who should be voted there. But on an instant that when I delivered my second or third speech actually, I was a bit confident that okay, yes, I am today I am going to win the best speaker award. And but again I didn't get that, and it is a bit of coincidence that I had deliver around 7 speeches, and in around 6 speeches, the best evaluator is the person who evaluated my speech. And at that moment I feel more sad that I had prepared my speech, and according to me that was my best speech, but in the end I realized that okay, I think I have to need more work on my speech, and and in this way that in this way where I am learning each and every day due to the Toastmasters. And I am thankful to all of you, you that you help me to learn each and every day. So over to you, Toastmaster, Table Topic Master, Toastmaster Shamam.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ali Asher, and KTC has learned that we have to continue doing the best thing, whether or not we achieve the words and achieve the award or not. I would like to have 3 more. Do I have enough time to go on?
Yes, if you can do 2 more, that will be appreciated.
Okay, fine. So quickly, I will take a Toastmaster member, Toastmaster Salman Majid from Crescent Toastmasters Club. Are you around? Can you be on the camera? I think he's lost it. So if not, Toastmaster Majid, are you around? Not him. Okay, Toastmaster Majid भी नहीं है, Toastmaster Salman भी नहीं है. DTM Maria, are you around? आप भी नहीं है. Toastmaster Faria, are you around?
Yes, I'm here.
Hi, good to see you, Toastmaster Faria. Now, you are here. One feature that you would want to take from Karachi Toastmasters Club to your own club to apply. Toastmaster Faria.
Okay, thank you very much, TM Shamam. Well, one thing which I would like to take from KTC to Express Toastmaster will not be one thing, it will be many things. Let's just start from the experience members KTC have. Because when a club is conducting its meetings and new Toastmasters are joining in, they look up to the existing members and they see how they are delivering their projects, how they are playing the roles, how they are connecting with each other, and how they are motivating and welcoming the new guests to become Toastmasters. So that is one thing that I would love to take home to my own club, that is Express Toastmaster Club. Because whenever I attended KTC, I felt that each and every member of KTC would come to you, greet you, say hi, hello, how are you doing? And then they would have some different type of topic and make a connection with you. So that connection would ensure that the guest or the other member would actually come back to KTC and they would love to be there. They would enjoy the meeting. They would feel home in your club. So that's one thing I would like to take to Express Toastmaster Club. Then there is the experience, the tons and huge experience the KTC members have. Most of them I see have been Toastmasters for many years, and the quality of their speeches, the inspiration they can provide is wonderful. It's absolutely wonderful. So I would love to my own club's members to be of the same level, to be DTMs, and they can be role model for the newcomers, for the new members. And our own club has now been 15 years old, and we are not very young, but we are not as old as KTC. So in the end, I would actually congratulate KTC on its 20th anniversary. So inshallah, we will be in touch. Express and KTC will be moving on. Express will be learning from KTC, and there will be many more things that we will get from KTC. Over to you, TM Shama.
Thank you, Toastmaster Faria. This seems that online meetings have to go on to keep everyone exchanging their ideas and learning from each other. I would love to conclude my table topic session with requesting DTM Farzana to please switch on. Oh, hi, you are there. DTM Farzana, I would like you to share your experiences since you have seen the world around. One exciting feature that you think Karachi Toastmaster Clubs owns, which is making it different from any other club, maybe around the world, or however you want to say it. Over to you, DTM Farzana.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shamam, Table Topics Master, for asking a wonderful question. Fellow Toastmasters and guests on the Zoom meeting. The question which has been asked is quite interesting. As I know Karachi Toastmasters But is there a one distinctive feature which I can attribute to KTC, which is not present anywhere else in the world? Is an interesting question, but it is a question which I would like to answer differently. The one element of Toastmasters program, along with so many wonderful things, is the camaraderie, which is quintessential for the success of any club in the world which thrives. And that camaraderie, that sense of belonging, that feeling that you are part of a family and they are here to provide you a safe environment, is also a distinctive feature of Karachi Toastmasters, I think. And the clubs which have helped anyone in becoming better in their communication and leadership skills provide that camaraderie, that sense of belonging to their members. When you see that at the 20th anniversary, there are more than 30 people who are attending it from around the world, that tells you that KTC has reached to members far and beyond. And that is the distinctive feature for KTC and for any other club in the world to provide value and quality to its members to grow and continue to grow, just like everyone else. Thank you, TM Shamam.
Thank you so much, DTM Farzana, for your insights into the matter. And with that, I also had a topic for International President-elect, DTM Margaret, but I'm keeping that question for her keynote and question answer sessions. We are already short of time. I would also like to thank everyone who has volunteered. We don't have much time, but keep coming in. It's an online meeting every Wednesday, so we can accommodate you somewhere else. I can talk to other Toastmasters, table topic masters to accommodate you if I'm not there. And with that, I hand over the mic back to Toastmaster of the evening.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Shamam. Timer, has everyone qualified?
Thank you, DTM Samir. Actually, one of the speakers overshot their allowance by 10 seconds, but they faced technical difficulties. So as presiding officer, I think it's appropriate to allow them to. So there are no disqualifications, and I will float the poll just now.
Thank you.
Just give me a few seconds.
Okay.
Meanwhile, you can move on.
All right. Well, today we are honored to have President-elect DTM Margaret Page attending our meeting. She is an entrepreneur and an investor from Canada. She is certified in business management and accounting and has also done programs as a parliamentarian, NLP, and many other subjects. As a champion for women in politics, DTM Page has been active over the last decade, championing women's rights and supporting them with tools to serve them at different levels of government. Today, she'll be speaking about game changers. I would request DTM Margaret Page to please come and give her keynote speech, Game Changers.
Thank you, DTM Samir. Assalamu alaikum. I hope I've pronounced that properly. It is an absolute delight to be with Karachi Toastmaster Club on the 20th anniversary. You have achieved so much in 20 years. You have a culture of success, which is definitely about connections, camaraderie. It's a commitment to each other, consistency, and of course here with this celebration. I've had the opportunity to hear about your founding stories, about your spiritual compass, about the challenges that brought you here to the club, and what makes it extremely special for me, that you have done a good job of honoring your past, treasuring where you are at, and also I've heard elements of shaping the future on how you want to be. I'd like to acknowledge you for 80 educational awards this year, number 7 in the world as far as standings go, 64 members to date, and 8 DCP points. Not easy to achieve. So definitely a round of applause to you all as we're celebrating here today. It's a testament to how many people are here that your executive have reached out and extended those invitations, and people wanted to be here to celebrate with you here today. And many of you have had similar experiences of transformation at KTC Toastmasters, of where you came in and you were challenged, you were shy, you had all those struggles, and you were transformed, as I was when I joined Toastmasters. I came to Toastmasters having had the opportunity. I received a call one day asking me to speak in front of an audience of 1,700 and share the success strategies of my business. I couldn't imagine how I could do that. I could no more do that than sprout wings or grow horns. And I immediately said, no, I can't do that. But when I attended that event and the gentlemen whose stores were number 2 in our region got up and spoke, and my staff sat at that table and looked at him and looked at me and wondered, why are you not up there sharing our story? I was so humiliated and so feeling like I had let them down. Up to that point in my life, it was about letting me down. But in that moment, I realized I had let others down that had contributed so much to me and given so that I was growing the business, so that we were successful together. And I had disappointed them. It still took me 2 years before I stumbled my way into a Toastmasters meeting. And when I did, I took days, weeks before I spoke up. In fact, so much so I had been a member for 3 months and still not participated in table topics. But I was committed on January 1st. It was the new year. I thought, my goal will be to do table topics no matter what is asked. I will say, yes, I will answer that, and go up to the front, ask the question. And so the first meeting, that's what happened. Table topics came up. I was asked, will I participate? I said yes. And the question was posed to me, why is New Year's on January 1st? I had no idea why it was. So I blathered for 20 seconds and then sat down. But it was such an accomplishment. It was so thrilling to have done that. Even though we were a very small club, it was a step in the right direction. 18 months later, I got a call one evening from the president of the Toastmasters Club saying, all the club officers are going to be out of town, and we have been asked to moderate a federal debate at the senior center. Will you do it for us, Margaret, because the officers are all out of town? I thought, gosh, Toastmasters has given me so much. Yes, I will do that. And so I heard my mouth say, I can do that. But what went on in my head is, you can't do that. I worked through the idea and I thought, a senior center, I've been there with my mother-in-law. They all have naps in the afternoon, and in the TV room, they just bring a few people in. And so it's going to be okay, Margaret. There's 7 candidates, but the audience won't be large at all, and you'll enjoy the experience. Well, 6 weeks later, the event happened, and I pulled up in front of the building, and it was way larger than I had thought. And outside, there was a mobile TV unit. I thought, wow, there must have been a very important person die here this morning because this funeral had to be televised. I walked in the building, and instead of them taking down chairs, they were putting up chairs. And it was an immense hall. There must have been at least 300 spots for 300 people. The person came up to me and said, "You must be Margaret, the moderator of the debate." And I said, "Yes, where are we having the debate?" And she looked at me and said, "Here." And I thought, oh my goodness, what have I gotten myself into? How can I get out of here? Maybe if I faint, they can take me to the hospital and I won't have to do this. I couldn't imagine how I was going to get through the next few hours, and so worried about disappointing my members of my club who had given me so much. What ran through my head was, I'll never be able to go back there again. I'll be so ashamed. It was at that moment that a grandmother came up to me and handed me a couple pieces of paper and said, "I'm going to ask this question. What do you think?" And all of a sudden I forgot about my own fears and and I looked at what this sweet grandmother had given me. It was a page and a half of written notes. I had done enough speeches at the time to realize this was a 5 to 7 minute speech. I saw no questions in there. I saw merely her commentary. And I quickly did the math in my head. We have 90 minutes and 7 candidates. If they have an opening statement, we can't do this. So I began to think quickly on my feet on how I could manage this. And I put one foot in front of the other and another and another and got through the next couple of hours. In fact, so much so that after that, the TV station asked me if I would be a moderator for TV shows for them. I went on to produce. Other doors of opportunity started to open up for me for Toastmasters. I got a radio show, and I got to be a campaign manager for a federal debate. I went on to organize campaign schools for women running for political office. So it was that one moment that was a game-changing moment for me. So what's a game-changing moment? It's a moment, it's a process, it's an idea, it's an event where there is a significant shift in the way that you think about something or the way that you act about something. And that was a game-changing moment for me. I went from instead focusing on my fears all the time is to, what difference can I make here? How can I make this better in some way? And then put one foot in front of the other. But I realized that moment of fear was so much like when I was a child and I was afraid of something that was in the closet or under the bed. And it was a fear so unnecessary. Thanks to Toastmasters, I've been transformed, and so many others have been transformed. And here at KTC, you have that transformation that you do to members because of your culture of success. Now, there are many other clubs in the world that also have amazing cultures of success. And often as I go around the world, I share the story of what I believe are game-changing clubs. And I hope to include KTC Toastmasters in that as well. So I invite you to share, as you had asked Farzana earlier, about your unique selling proposition. What is it, your secret sauce of KTC? So let me share with you some other game-changing clubs around the world. First, I'd like to introduce you to Bengal Toastmasters, which is 6255 from Dublin, Ireland. Since the new recognition program in 1998, Bengal Toastmasters has been President's Distinguished Club for 21 years. President's Distinguished each and every year. When I asked them what was their secret sauce, they said to me, it's like a mastermind here. We hold everyone accountable. If you say you're going to do a speech, we help and support you to do that speech. If you're going to be the chair, we help and support you be the chair. We don't have people not show up and not commit and not grow from the experience. So that's one game-changing club. The next game-changing club I want to introduce to you is called Beaver Toastmaster. Beaver Toastmaster hails from Beaver. Have I been mute all the time?
Actually, it was my misguided attempt at creating a little bit of a quiet, and you also fell victim to it. But no, you were only quiet for a few seconds.
Okay, thank you. And did you hear the story about Fingal Toastmasters? Yes, okay. And Beaver Toastmaster? Yes, okay. The next club I'd like to introduce to you is club number 1600, which is First Bahamas Club in the Bahamas. That club is so fascinating. They meet 3 times a week. The executive meet on Monday. On Tuesday, they do a dress rehearsal for their meeting. And on Thursday, they have their formal meeting. You shared the past presidents of this club. Club 1600 in the Bahamas has been in existence over 50 years. And on the front of their lectern, there's a plaque with each and every president's name posted on that plaque as an honor and celebration for them. Each year in the Bahamas, all the officers are inducted by the governor of the state, and they feel it's their utmost duty to not only support members of their club, but any children that are going wayward. So if there's children that get in trouble, the first thing that the police or officials do is call the Toastmasters Club, and the Toastmasters feels it's their obligation to build leadership in everyone, and they take that child under their wing and begin to build communication and leadership skills in them. And them, they eventually join the club. They have made a difference in so many others' lives. That is a game-changing club. I'd also like to introduce you to East Delhi Toastmasters Club, and let me see if I can remember their number right. It's 1459483, East Delhi Toastmaster Club, who was on suspension almost 20 years ago. And the members of that club that joined felt, if we're going to transform this club and turn it around, we're going to make this club the best club in the world. And they turned that club into an exciting club. I believe there are about 70 members now, but what's more exciting is the legacy that that club has created. Now in India, there are close to 1,000 clubs, which all stemmed from 2 clubs, and one of them was East Delhi, who has ripple effect multiplied that of creating the best club in the world. So I believe Karachi Toastmasters, yes, congratulations to all those game-changing clubs. And I believe you are a game-changing club as well. You've demonstrated that in Pakistan. And of course, you will be doing that beyond as you continue to grow leaders that not only lead the Territorial Council, but go on to stand on the international stage and make a difference in the region and make a difference in the world. I know you have that within you, and you have members here that are capable of doing that. As far as I went, I never saw beyond the end of the headlights, always just that next role, and I grew into that next role and then saw the door open, peeked in to see what was next and if I could make a difference. And if I could make a difference, I stepped into that. Now, we wanted to talk about earlier about what made up quality clubs, and our board of directors, before I served on the board, actually did some research about quality clubs and what constituted quality clubs. And they came up with 77 attributes, but they put it under 4 easy umbrellas for us to work with and manage. And that's the first is about a professional agenda. And you've certainly demonstrated that here today, where everyone had the roles and it was well laid out and well set up well ahead of time. The second is to have variety in meetings, and you've proved that as well by your panel discussion and your keynotes and other elements that you've had. Another attribute of a quality club is to be supportive of fun. And really, our founder, Dr. Ralph Smedley, said the 2 pillars of our success are evaluations and mentoring. And that's that element of support and fun, is that you have that support from mentors, you have that support from good evaluations. And I heard the fun and I heard the laughter and the way you approach so many things. So congratulations on that. And acknowledging member achievements is the 4th umbrella of a quality club, and you've demonstrated that as well. So congratulations. For those of you that think you know your secret sauce, I would be excited and eager to have you put it in the chat. And then I can, as I continue to share game-changing clubs around the world, I can add club number 1417, Karachi Toastmasters, the oldest club in Pakistan, to those that are game-changing clubs. I would like to also, Mr. Timer, could you share how much time I have left, given that there was that mute moment? I'm unclear now of how much time I have left.
Yeah. Actually, you have still 3 minutes for your presentation.
All right, good. All right, so I'd like to wrap it up with something that I think is game-changing for you all as well, each and every member of the club. It's a small little process, but has the opportunity to make a huge difference in your life and in your club as well. So it's my model, what I call the 3-2-1 model of game-changing. And number 3 is each and every Toastmasters meeting you go to, take out your phone or whatever it is and jot down 3 things you learned in this meeting. So the 3 elements you learned, and then if you look at that within 24 hours, you'll be able to integrate it so much more, and before the next meeting as well. Review your learning list, and then you'll be able to incorporate it in what you're doing at this meeting. It will be your quintessential tool for learning. Number 2 is to share 2 compliments with individuals in your club or at that meeting, and they must be unique compliments. So it can't be something that someone else heard or that you're delivering in an evaluation, which means you need to be an observer of people. You need to listen intently. You need to listen with your heart and your head and watch and observe, and then pay that person that compliment. It also builds in you your understanding of how you want to show up, the person you want to become, because you've seen magic in other people and you want to aspire to be like that. So 2 unique compliments. And number 1 is send a note of gratitude to someone in the club who made it possible for you to grow and learn. And so that's my model of game-changing your ability to grow and learn in the Toastmaster organization. So please feel free to use that model 3-2-1. I conclude by just saying that it has been an honor and a delight to be here today with you all. And I think we owe it to those that came before us to ensure that we leave the organization in better shape than we found it, so that those that come after us have a place to grow and learn. Back to you.
Thank you very much, DTM Page. That was a wonderful, wonderful speech, and I think that we have all taken something away from it. Now I would like to ask, if anybody has questions, please raise your hand so we can call on you one by one. So just raise your hands in the in the Zoom function.
Toastmaster Farooq Siddiqui, Area Director, I think you raised your hand.
Okay.
If you have a question, please go ahead.
Yes, Toastmaster DTM Talha. I had a question, but that was well answered by Toastmaster Margaret Page. Well, before I ask that question, I was wanted to ask that how we can make our clubs and members, or we can improve our clubs. So that was answered at the end of her speech. So that's why I had just lower my hand.
Well, thank you so much, Area Director. I want to thank you for your service. Leadership isn't easy, but it's the difficult that makes it great. So I want to thank you for your service, for serving the members of the area that you serve. Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else with a question? This is the.
Is there a question, Program Quality Director? If not, I have a couple comments that I would like to make.
Okay. You can go ahead. You can go ahead.
Okay. So I want to share, who knows the Toastmaster Club mission? Who, if you post in the chat the Toastmaster Club mission, you will get a book from me about the founding of Toastmasters, our founder, Dr. Ralph Smedley. So go ahead, and those that know the mission of Toastmasters for your club, not Toastmasters International, because Toastmasters International has a mission, the district has a mission, but the club has a mission. Not quite sure. It is to provide a positive learning experience where members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. That is the mission. That's the day-to-day of what happens in each and every club around the world. And that mission is given to you. However, clubs are permitted to create a vision, of course, and we would encourage you to, just like any corporation needs a long-term vision. And so I encourage you, if you don't have a vision, or I heard some visions stated earlier, and also goals each and every year, short-term goals to get to your long-term vision. And I always encourage clubs to have at least 3 goals. And the first is what distinguished status you're wanting. The second is your membership, what you would like the membership to be. And the third is whatever else you would like. So I just wanted to bring that distinction about the vision, the mission, and the goals.
DTM Margaret, I have received a question, and the question is, again, something that haunts us throughout the year. How to handle ExCom members who are not performing in line with the expectations?
Oh, sorry, my light just went out again. It seems to be heating up and it keeps turning out. So members that are, I think, members of the executive committee that are non-performing, it's the president's responsibility to have a one-to-one chat with them and ask them about their commitment and how I can support you in your growth. What do you need? You seem to be having some challenges performing your role and responsibility, and you made a commitment to the club and to the members of their club, and their expectation is that you deliver on that. So how can we help you to get the job done? If you need an assistance, if you need to step down from your position, whatever it is, we're here to help you grow. And so please lean on us and let us know what the challenge is, and we will help you.
The idea is to bring them around with positivity and continue to do that.
Absolutely.
rather than doing anything aggressive or
yes,
pushy. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, one of the, so we have some leaders from around the world here. We have an area director. I think this is an important element. A few years ago, we had a world champion of public speaking, Dana Jaya from Sri Lanka. And his speech was about, we see something in you. And that is such a profound statement. As leaders in an organization, and this is in your corporate world as well, as in Toastmasters, you need to be able to see something in the people around you. Often in volunteer organizations, we're just asking someone to do tasks, to do a job. However, what it is our responsibility, we are a people optimizing organization. And so what you need to do is see something in individuals, help them to step into their identity. If you help them step into who they're capable of becoming, then they are willing to do tasks, they're willing, but first it's your responsibility to help them step into a greater identity of themselves and to an understanding of what their potential is and what they can do. So I encourage all leaders to do that. Is the person that's in front of you, honor that person and allow them to step into a greater self.
I think does anyone else have any questions?
Did we
No.
lose DTM?
Sorry?
Tala?
No, I'm just saying that, Tala, are you there? Never mind. I'll just take it onward. So Toastmaster DTM page, thank you very much. Really appreciate. And the 321, I've jotted it down. I'll be using that a lot now. Thank you for that.
And
Before
thank
we
you
go,
for your service.
thank you. Before we go on to the next session, there's one person I'd like to call. We've all spoken about Dr. Salim Ahmed, who was the founder of our club. And I would like to point out that things in Karachi at one time were quite terrible. There was rioting and there was a lot of things that were going on. And many of the clubs could not function, but he kept on pushing it on. Today, we are very happy that his daughter Maria is here. And I would like DTM Maria to please just say a couple of words about your father. I remember he used to bring you along, and I know that you were the apple of his eye. So, DTM Maria, please, if you could just say a couple of few words.
Am I audible? Okay. Well, it's an honor and privilege for me to be his daughter and again to be a DTM. And he's the person who pushed me and motivated me to achieve this task of being a DTM. It was not a piece of cake. It was really hard and challenging. Around a decade back, it was out of the question, how can someone become a DTM? So yes, he was the person who motivated me towards this goal, and I have witnessed his dedication and struggle towards creating this platform for all kinds of people from all different walks of life. He struggled and worked hard, and all of us are witnesses to see the level or the benchmark set up by this club. It is nonetheless an international club of any international level, and I would like to wish all the best for all the future goals for this club. And my services are always available, whatever the club requires from my side. I'm always there to help you out through my experience, wisdom, and I'm always there to guide the club to the best of my ability. Thank you.
Thank you very much, DTM Maria. And now we will go on to our third session, the evaluation. And I would request our general evaluator, who is none other than DTM Rema. DTM Rema is indeed a student right now of psychology. I believe she's just graduated. But most of all, I know her as a very talented poetess. She writes wonderful poetry, and she's the one who introduced me to slam poetry, something that I had never heard of. So, DTM Rema, please go right ahead.
Thank you, DTM Samir. So it's a pleasure to be part of such a delightful international and quintessential meeting. So I think we should move on to our evaluation session, which is as important as all of the sessions that we had before. And I think just to highlight the importance of it, I was listening to DTM Margaret's speech, and she said that, we honored our past, we are treasuring our present, and we're focusing on the future. And I think evaluation is pretty much like that. We look at what we performed in the past, how we talk about it in the evaluation, and then how we can work on things and improve in the future. So with that, I am going to start with the prepared speech evaluation. First off, we have Toastmaster Hina, who is evaluating the prepared speaker Toastmaster Arusa.
Hi, good evening again. Thank you, Toastmaster Emma. Am I audible and clearly visible? That's wonderful. Thank you. So today we heard Toastmaster Arusa Mohsin give her level 5 speech, or rather the panel discussion that she moderated, which is in itself a major achievement when you are doing this particular pathway of presentation mastery. I would like to congratulate you, Toastmaster Arusa. You did a wonderful job. From the word go, one could see that you were well prepared. You had a beautiful opening in any discussion or when we're trying to engage the audience. It's lovely to start with a personal experience or a story, and it immediately engages the audience. So I loved how you opened your session and you brought us into what actually does make a successful club. Because for you, it was the fact that everybody was engaged, everybody was having fun, and you've never looked back after that. Following that, your preparation could be seen in terms of how you introduced your 3 panelists. Very well done. You gave each of them a very good introduction, telling us about what their professional background is, how long they've been with the club, and what they had achieved in the club as well. From there, you went into your specific discussion points about what makes a club successful. I found that your questions were well prepared and you fielded them well with your panelists. On from that, you had a very short question and answer session, which had some fun and lightened the atmosphere. And then you thanked your panelists, managing the time that was agreed with the timer for the overall panel discussion, and brought your discussion to a close. Now, if I had to think about what you did well, as I just said, your preparation was the key to the success of your panel discussion today. Well-structured questions, very good panelists who have experience to speak on the topic, and your own spice of how you speak. You are a beautiful, natural speaker, and you engage the audience with your personal anecdotes. Now, if I had to go into what I believe you could have done better, in terms of when you have a panel discussion and you have a lot of time in which you need to divide what you have to do in that discussion, I know you had agreed with the timer on 30 minutes. I'm not sure if you separately agreed with the timer on dividing your time, but I think what could be done better in terms of a panel discussion in future is divide your time between your opening, your panelists' questions and audience questions, because you had very little time at the end for your your audience questions and conclusion. One other thing that, again, just coming back to what I liked was the fact that you summarized your panelists' answers. What I would have really liked to see was at the end of the panel discussion that you quickly summarized the key points that came up from the panelists and then closed with talking about the success or how to make clubs successful. And with that, I think you did a great job. And with these few points of improvement, I hope we hear a lot more of you moderating and facilitating panel discussions. Best of luck to you, Toastmaster Urusa. Over to you, Toastmaster Mehma.
Thank you, Toastmaster Hina. Next, we have the evaluator of Toastmaster Javed Bhatti, who was evaluated by Toastmaster Shahrukh.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Am I audible? So, Toastmaster Javed Bhatti, you presented your project for presenting mastery level 5. The title of your speech was From Zero to Hero. And it is not an easy project to deliver. Engaging audience for 20 minutes is a really difficult task. You excelled at well, salutations were there, your energy and enthusiasm could be very well felt, voice modulations were there, hand gestures were there. You delivered your speech by standing up, which is something we are encouraging, and actually we are compelling our fellow members to present their speeches while they're standing up. And you have great technical skills. What I'm trying to say is that the way you have angled or you have set your camera, so that really helped a lot. So that really helped us as an audience a lot to see you perform. The content in your speech was great. I have a personal story to share. This really engaged all of us. You told us about that you liked a girl, you were a shy boy, 3 magical words, and there were great comparisons, missing a kidney, missing a spark, and Dr. DTM. We could feel all the emotions, shivering, scared. So a wonderful speech, and the content was brilliant. Your speech was greatly structured, and you mentioned about free corona world. This is something which is very important and personal for most of us. You recognized the contributions of your fellow Toastmasters, DTM Talha, Toastmaster Imran Rana, and you concluded your speech with the great song. You might want to work on, well, I can't think of anything. Your opening was great, and you have spoiled me with your atomic openings. So I really missed that. And you did utilize the speaking area, and you could utilize the speaking area a bit more. To challenge yourself, well, I can't think of anything else. You are a talented speaker, you are a great dresser, and you are a brilliant Toastmaster. Congratulations on completing your project, and I can't wait to listen and see you present your next project. Back to General Evaluator.
Thank you, DTM Shahrukh. Next, we move on to the table topic evaluation session, which will be conducted by Toastmaster Umar Hayat.
Can you hear me? Okay, great. So let's start with the evaluations of the table topic speakers. The first speaker was Toastmaster Latif, and his topic was the funniest experience you ever had as a Toastmaster. Toastmaster Latif spoke about the punctuality, and it was a very pertinent thing to speak about, because that is one of the things that I think everyone can relate to at Toastmasters. Like, we are all, well, in the time that we had meetings, we were all trying to rush to the meeting after work. So it was a good topic. I will say that it was slightly different from the topic posed, and it's better if the speaker tries to be as close to the proposed topic as possible. This second thing is that while the The gestures were really good, but at a few times you clasp your hands, and maybe if you try to steeple your hands instead, it would be better. Overall, it was a great and engaging speech. The second speaker was Maria Ayas, and the topic was how does it feel to be at KTC's 20th anniversary. This was a great speech. You had great clarity, you stayed on point, and you have good stage presence and confidence, and point of improvement is none. It was a perfect speech, and we would like to see more at Toastmasters. The third speech was, the third speaker was Iram Rizvi, and the topic was, is it easy to make a club a success? The best thing about your speech was that it really sounded like a prepared speech. No, it's really hard if you have an impromptu speech to structure it so well on the fly that it sounds as if it's a prepared speech, but this one did. You had great clarity, you stayed on topic, your eye contact was really good, and overall it was a great speech. The fourth speaker was Ali Asher, and the question was, the speaker had to speak about a time where you were expected to win but not get enough votes. So unfortunately, your video was not visible. I will speak only on the content of your speech, and your content was good. You spoke about a time where you thought you had done really well, but most voters did not feel that way. But the best thing about your speech was that you straight away connected that with that being a learning experience, and how you took that to be a sign that you need to keep on improving. And instead of being discouraged, it actually encouraged you. And I think that is really the spirit of Toastmasters, and that was fantastic to hear. The fifth speaker was a Toastmaster Faria. The topic was one feature that you would like to take from KTC to your club. What I will say is that in your speech, you had great sentence structure and vocal variety that really engaged the audience. And you had a very logical approach to answer the questions. You said, well, you know, the KTC has experienced speakers, and if you were able to move that to your club, then it would benefit in this way. So it was an excellently structured speech. You had great eye contact, and I think the one thing you can improve maybe is that if you stand a bit away from the camera, then your gestures would be more visible. The last speech was DTM Farzana, and that was how is KTC different from other clubs? And this was a great speech because you have a really calm presence on stage, and you immediately command attention, and the way you speak instills confidence in the listeners. I would say your a connection with the audience that you are immediately able to build was the most distinguishing part of your speech. And apart from that, you spoke about camaraderie and why that's important. And you had great eye contact, and I thought it was a great speech. Perhaps because of the camera, I could not see any gestures, but nevertheless, it was a great speech. So those were all the speakers we had. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Omar. So next we move on to our role holders. So I would like to take their reports. We have the grammarian, Toastmaster Saad.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah.
So let me start off with the good uses of phrases and grammar. Journey of a Toastmaster continues forever. All it takes for a club to be successful is persistence. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And camaraderie, that is quintessential. Now, phrases that could have been phrased differently. Takes on this could have been take on this. Through a good preparation, quite some while could be quite a while. He did not knew, he did not know, and huge experience could be rephrased as wealth of experience. That's it. Over to you, Edwin.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sal. So I had to do this before, call for votes for evaluators, but I am going to do it now. So if we can have the vote ballot on screen. Okay, so please vote for the best evaluator.
Meanwhile, you can continue, Toastmaster.
Right. So the next role holder is the timer. DTM Tala, can we have your report?
Thank you so much. The meeting started sharply on time, and we managed to also save some time in the opening segments. Overall, we are still only 5 to 10 minutes behind time, which to anyone who has more than a passing acquaintance with KTC meetings is nothing short of a miracle, and we hope to continue it in the future as well. As far as the speakers were concerned, both the prepared speakers were within their time limits, which is again something amazing given the length and the what's the word? Grammarian, any help? And the uniqueness of their projects. Okay. The table topic speakers were all on time as well. And so were the evaluators. And some of the role players, in fact, took even less time than that was allotted to them. So that was my report. Over to you, Toastmaster Ram.
Thank you, DTM Tala. Next, we move on to the R counter. Toastmaster Heba, can we have your report?
Is my voice audible? Okay, as the R counter, in the prepared speeches, TM Orusa had about 2 arms and 9 R's. And then DTM Onib had around 3 R's and 1 and his repeated word was successful. TM Najam, 4 R's and was the filler word. TM Heather, around 1 arms and 2 arms and 8 R's. And Rotary Club and Toastmaster were the repeated words. TM Javed Bhatti only had 1 R, and Fear and Club were the repeated words. And now for the table topic session, TM Latif, I could not detect any filler words in his speech, and late were the repeated words. TM Maria, 2 hours, and the fellow word TM Eram Rizvi, she had none. TM Ali Ashar, around 5 hours and 2 na. TM Faria Iqbal, she had nothing, and DTM Farzana, nothing. No filler words. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Eba. Next, we have the report by the word master, Toastmaster Najam.
Quintessential was the word of the day. And immediately after the session began, Toastmaster Usa Mohsen used it once. Toastmaster Latif used it twice, and you used it once, Toastmaster Rama. And DTM Talha claims that he's used it once. I'm not sure about that. That's my report. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Najam. Next, we have the listener's role, which is being performed by Toastmaster Ghulam Qadir.
Yes, thank you very much, Toastmaster Emma. May I please request tech host to allow me to share a PowerPoint presentation?
Yes, but on one condition, you should remember that we have 3 to 4 minutes allotted for this.
Yes, yes. And may I also request all the participants to open your camera and unmute your mics. I'm unable to share the presentation. Yeah, it's not there. Okay, so what I'll be doing is that I'll be flashing those phrases which have been said by the speakers today. And you guys have to guess who was that speaker. So let's start with the first one. Mission of KTC is to be the best in the world. Who was the speaker? No.
No, Toastmaster Arusa Kamal, I think.
No, it was DTM Munib.
Yes, you're right. Next one. I lack the skill of public speaking.
Heather Nakvi.
Bhatti. No.
Najam Rizvi.
Absolutely. You're right. Next one. Speaking your heart out.
Is it DTM Margaret Page?
Javed Bhatti.
Javed Bhatti.
Bhatti. Yeah.
No. Toastmaster Heather. Next. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a step.
Toastmaster Musa.
Yes, Toastmaster Rusa. A successful club requires commitment from the executive committee.
DTM Munib.
Margaret Page. Absolutely, DTM Munib. Toastmaster means business.
Toastmaster Heather.
Absolutely, Toastmaster Heather. Wishing to see 200 more.
Eram Rizvi.
Absolutely. It's a belief that this program will deliver.
Margaret Page.
Toastmaster Munib.
Absolutely, DTM Munib. TV show asked me to become a moderator.
Toastmaster Margaret Page.
Absolutely, Toastmaster Margaret. Toastmaster Margaret. Oh my God!
The joke master.
Yes.
TM Latif.
TM Latif. Ignorance is a bliss.
Javed Bhatti.
Yes. Toastmaster Javed Bhatti. It was a game-changing moment for me.
DTM Page.
DTM Margaret.
TM Margaret. TM Margaret. And the last one, which I loved it, she waited for 3 words. Absolutely. Thank you very much. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ghulam Qadir. So moving on to a general report on my part, I would say that this meeting was very well coordinated, very intact, and I felt that each component had was aligned with the other. So for example, we had the prepared speeches, and then we had a keynote, and we had the table topic, which was very much aligned with the prepared speech. So I think that was an amazing, theme focused type of meeting. It was really great to see people from all over the world. It's really heartening to see how far we've come, to sort of remember all of the people, to see all of the immediate past presidents, and to actually involve them in a very productive panel. And I was just thinking that I think a key sign of a healthy club is how long the speakers can speak and how interesting and unique projects they're doing. And I think we are having, long 20, 30-minute keynotes and speeches, and that's a really good sign of a good club. So that's the positive things. I think there's only one negative thing, and that's I'm a little upset that the cake was only for Toastmaster Imran and DTM Tala, and I was a little jealous. But apart from that, I think that is my report. Over to you, DTM Samir.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Rama. Yes, we're going to get both of you. I mean, how can you have the cake on your own? Okay, just wait until you have physical meetings. We're going to have cake for at least one whole month. There
That
you
will be 550 rupees only.
go. And now I'll just hand the charge back to the presiding officer, Toastmaster Tala. Toastmaster Tala, please, your concluding remarks.
Thank you so much. And first, I'll float the poll for the best Big Four. And just a second, please vote. And meanwhile, yes. So while we are voting, I believe Toastmaster Shamam, you had something for DTM Margaret Page. Can we have that? You had a table topics question or something?
Actually, DTM Margaret had covered so much so well. My question was like, if you want me to share the question was, if KTC was a vehicle, what one fuel would you suggest to keep it running for many years to come? But I think she had mentioned everything so nicely, and we got all the tips there. So it was already covered. I could only thank her for responding to my question without even asking. So that was the thing.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Shaman. And since now, as the impromptu presiding officer, it is my duty to wind up the meeting. I will use some of that time to recite something that I wrote during this very meeting. It's kind of a poem, and if you have a problem with that, please remember that I am the PQD as well. And even if you have a problem with that, blame Toastmaster Rama Uneep for actually introducing a lot of us to slam poetry. So here it is. It is something on the theme of KTC's 20th anniversary, and I swear I wrote it during the meeting. Okay, so here it goes. There is nothing special about growing older, but what if one grows more generous, bolder? What if one refuses to yield to the traps of age and complacence and ease, and instead runs even faster and longer, willing the sinews to not weaken, become stronger? Then time ceases to be a threat and becomes a familiar companion instead. And today, when it all comes down to this moment, we all gather and celebrate and cement our resolve to move further and farther and higher, is only eclipsed by our burning desire to help, to nurture, to give, to celebrate, and to be able to salute ourselves each and every day. So that was, of course, the ourselves in it is the entire club and not me by any means. So thank you so much. We had our poll going, and we have the results for Best Big Four as well. So let me announce the results. So first of all, the best speaker for today is, again by a narrow margin, Toastmaster Javed Bhatti. And you'll only get your certificate if at any point in time you sing that song again, the Mariah Carey song. Okay. The best topic speaker goes to our friend from District 105, Toastmaster Iram Rizvi. Best evaluator goes to DTM Shahrukh Shanawaz. And Best Big Four goes to DTM Samir. But the story doesn't end there because we have two more awards. And DTM Margaret, especially, you'll be interested to know that we have two additional awards, and both are Critics' Choice Awards. So we have a secret critic in every meeting who is actually evaluating the speeches according to the criteria for the International Speech Contest. And obviously, if the project is very specific or different, an allowance is made for that. So every speech is judged according to how well it will do on the World Championship stage. And the second is the Critics' Choice for Best Facilitator. So I've received the results for both. And it is a testament to the brilliance of Toastmaster Ursa Mohsin's panel discussion that Toastmaster Javed Bhatti won by a single mark in the critics voting, even though Toastmaster Ursa was conducting a panel discussion. So amazing job. And the Critics' Choice for Best Facilitator goes to our listener for the day, Toastmaster Ghulam Qadir. So before we go, I will first request DTM Rashid to share his remarks because he wanted to, if you can, because he's actually traveling and he's on the road. So DTM Rashid, if you're able to share your remarks, please go ahead. Okay, I think conditions are not feasible. For those of you who don't know, whipping out your cell phone and participating in a Zoom meeting is the last thing you want to do in Karachi after sunset. So I'll once again request DTM Margaret, if you can grace this meeting with some concluding remarks of your own.
Well, it's just been, pardon me, it's been a delight to spend some time with you. I feel like I know so many of you through your stories and your smiles and your sharing and your evaluation. It's been a great Toastmasters meeting. Every day that I go to a Toastmaster meeting, I leave feeling lifted, and you certainly have done that. I look forward to perhaps celebrating you when you have your 25th, 30th, 35th, and perhaps 40th as well. Wishing you much success in the years ahead and enhancing the member experience. Thank you.
Thank you so much, DTM Margaret. I would now request, before ending, if Toastmaster Heather Lucky, can you share your comments about the meeting? We've heard so much about you, but I think I'm seeing you in person for the first time. You're muted, sir.
We must have met because on the reference of Toastmaster Asad and Dr. Salim, I made it a point to be there, only as a guest appearance. Over here as well, I don't want to miss this 20th year because Toastmasters KTC is very close to my heart. And even on this, I know how many hours, filler words I have to, my confidence level has shattered when I'm on this Zoom meeting. So I have to be again extremely selfish and attend a joint Toastmasters just to improve myself, nothing else.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Heather Lucky. And guess what? For a limited time only, You don't need to pay the $20 all over again. You just need to pay the renewal fee, and you can rejoin in a matter of 5 minutes if you really want to. Our VP Education is standing by, operators are standing by, and if you call within a day or so, you'll receive a special discount. So thank you so much. And with that, one last request to everyone, please turn on your cameras for a nice group photo, and then we say goodbye to each other. Okay, everyone, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thank you so much, everyone. And it was amazing to have you all. God bless you, and see you again next week. Thank you so much.